Hello?
Hey!
Hi, Miss Forman.
What's up?
So, are you ready for 73 questions with Miss Forman?
So ready.
All right, so where are we right now?
We're in my classroom. Welcome.
Now, 1 out of 10, how excited are you for this interview?
I've really been looking forward to it, to be honest. I would say an 8.5.
Mind if we enter your room?
Yeah, please come in.
How did you start your morning?
I woke up at 6:30, had some Honey Nut Cheerios for breakfast, and then got on the train to get to school.
Who's winning the World Cup this year?
I I really have not been following. Argentina? Is that an answer?
Sure.
Okay.
So, what do you teach at Baruch?
I teach Algebra 2, Geometry, and AP Calc.
Out of the 3, which one is your favorite?
AP Calc.
What's your favorite part about teaching?
I love interacting with students and getting them excited about math and what they're learning.
What's your least favorite part about teaching?
For me, it's grading tests. Yeah, that could be rough. And also when students ask me what they got on their test, like 10 minutes after they took it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Any advice for anyone looking to be a math teacher?
Yeah, learn a lot of math and get a lot of experience like working with kids.
What's your favorite part about the school?
I love the community here. I really like that students have really close relationships with their teachers.
What's the weirdest thing about your room?
The weirdest thing about my room? Probably the bicycle on the windowsill over there.
Is it true that all of your testing borders disappeared last year?
My testing borders?
Like the folders that block?
Oh, yeah, they did. Do you know anything more about that?
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, okay.
I have no involvement. If you could change the color of your room, what would it be?
Wow, that was a little sus. If I could change the color of my room, maybe like a light blue with like some, I don't know, maybe light blue.
Interesting.
Into that.
Is it time to make copies?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'll take you in the elevator with me. Okay, here we go.
Have you heard of Baruch Talk?
I have heard of Baruch Talk, and I've watched the first episode.
Have you seen their TikToks?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, like a lot in Mr. DA's classroom.
Interesting. Any plans for the break?
I'm going to go home to my family in Boston for a few days. And besides that, just kind of hanging out, catching up on sleep.
How was your summer?
My summer was great. This past summer, I got married, and so did my brother. So,
how was your wedding?
So fun. Like really just such a fun day with so many people that I love.
How was your brother's wedding?
Also really fun. But I felt like I could, be more a part of the party and not be so nervous.
How has the school year been so far?
I think it's been a really good school year. Yeah, I'm really liking the students this year. And a lot going on, but overall good.
What's the most memorable moment so far?
Of this school year? That's a great question. I think, that's this floor. This school year, I actually went to one of the first boys basketball games, and that was so fun. I feel like that was memorable for me. I like getting to see students like outside of the classroom and like see what they're good at. So there's some great basketball players.
What's something you're really passionate about?
What am I passionate about? I mean, I think I'm passionate about, let's see, like teaching, but making sure people feel like they could, be good at whatever they're interested in. So I don't know. I like students to feel like they can, kind of achieve and pursue whatever they want to pursue.
What's something new you've learned this year?
Something new I've learned this year. Let's see. Okay, so I spent a lot of time here with the copy machine. I didn't know before this that you could get the copy machine to stack in the right order, even if you weren't stapling. That was new.
Do you make copies every day?
I usually make them every day. And I usually post in my copy machine horoscope.
Can you explain your copy machine horoscope? Like, what is that?
Yeah, so basically, for years I felt that, okay, we'll just let it go. For years I felt that if the copy machine had a bad day, then I would have a bad day, like if it jammed or if we ran out of paper. So I started recording, and then I make a little blurb about how it went that day, and it helps people predict how the day will go in general.
What is your teacher Instagram?
My teacher Instagram is Miss Forman Math. Miss Forman Math is like combination of math problems that people get to do and different things going on at the school. Obviously the copy machine horoscope. Yeah.
How do you feel about teachers on social media?
So I think it's a really cool way for teachers to connect with students. But yeah, I don't know. I feel very passionately that I do not really follow students or like look at their profiles. I really just like interact when students interact with me.
So you're a content creator?
I would call myself that, yes.
Were you always from New York?
No, I'm actually from outside of Boston, a town called Newton.
What sparked your interest in math?
So for me, well, I knew I wanted to be a math teacher since 6th grade when I had this amazing math teacher, Mrs. Cateman. And for me, what was exciting about math is that it was something that I could figure out. I liked that there was like a finite answer usually, and that I was like trying to get to a solution. I always felt like with English and history, like there was kind of always more you could learn and you'd never quite be finished.
Do you go home thinking about algebra?
Once in a while I do. Like sometimes the college calc students will bring a question to my classroom and I won't be able to figure it out right away. And so sometimes I'll like go home and still be thinking about it for sure.
Do you sleep thinking about AP Calc questions?
Usually not.
What about math is applicable to real life?
So I think that there's a lot of math like in the world. I think a lot of jobs incorporate math, like analyzing data. There's so much data that's collected these days, so analyzing it and learning more about our world. But I think in terms of math education, like one of the biggest things about learning math is I think students are learning how to think and figure something out that they didn't know how to do before. And so I think that those skills are actually so applicable even if students are not pursuing math careers.
Do you think math is always evolving?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we know about math is always evolving. I've always kind of thought that if, math is kind of like a truth that exists in the world, and so it's kind of like we're discovering it, but it's always existed.
Do you consider yourself a mathematician?
Yeah, I do, for sure.
How about a mathlete?
Yes. And I dressed up as a mathlete for Halloween last year.
Interesting. What college did you attend?
I went to the University of Rochester.
How was your experience?
I loved it there. I think academically it was a really good fit, like challenging for me, but also a place where I felt like I could be successful. And I made a lot of great friends.
Any college advice for those applying soon?
Yeah, I think that in terms of applying, see if you can talk to people from schools to get a better sense of what it's like to go there. And then once you're there, I would just say like try everything. Like I tried out for the water polo team my freshman year, and I was in a concerts club, even though I had like only been to one concert in my whole life. So I don't know, just try everything you can.
Did you major in math?
I did, yeah.
Besides being a math teacher, what jobs are out there for math-heavy students? So,
besides being a math teacher, there's a lot of jobs like in data and data analytics that you could do if you're into math. I also think there's a lot of jobs in like consulting and solving problems using math. Yeah.
What was your high school experience like?
So I went to like a huge public high school, Newton South High School is what it was called. In my grade, there was like 500 people. And I think I kind of felt like, I don't know, like I felt like I had my place. I was on the swim team and, I was involved in a few clubs, but in general, I was kind of like anonymous because there was just so many people in the school. So very different from what I feel like this school is like.
What is one piece of advice to your high school self?
I think I would have said to my high school self, maybe that, I don't know, just that things will get better in college. Like I think that there was a lot to look forward to in college and a lot more learning to do. And I think I felt like when I was finishing high school, like it was supposed to be the greatest moments of my life. And I think, much greater moments have happened since then.
How many copies did you make?
I made 68 copies for Algebra 2. Even though I only have 60 students, you would be shocked at the number of times people forget their homework and need an extra one.
Time for a math problem. What's 10 plus 3 squared?
19.
Okay, great. Try to
Wow, that really
throw a
made me
curveball at
nervous.
you. So how was your Spirit Week?
My Spirit Week was awesome, except what I thought was my pajama day. People didn't think I did so well with that one, which was a little disappointing because other than that, I felt like I went, 5 for 5.
What's your favorite Spirit Week day?
I definitely like Jersey Day. I get to choose like which team to rep that day. Yeah.
What's this chart to our left?
This is our stars reading chart. So my advisory, when they finish reading a book, they get to put a star. As you can see, there's one student in particular who is kind of knocking the rest
blowing
of us,
everyone out the water.
blowing us away with how many.
What advisory do you have this year?
She's read. I have a senior advisory. It used to be Mr. Jonas's and some other advisories kind of mixed together.
Describe your advisory in one word.
They're lovely. I really love them. Even on the first day when I was like a little kooky, they're seniors and I was like making them do like freshman get to know you activities. They were like so into it.
How many calculators do you have in this room?
That's such a good question. Right now, I think I have 10, but it fluctuates because people take them all the time.
Do you ever use the chalkboard?
I do, actually. And you can see there's some stuff on it right now. Sometimes when me and my student teacher or co-teacher like split the class and we each teach half of the class, I'll use the chalkboard to teach half in the back.
What's at your desk?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Should we look at my desk?
Yes, please.
Okay. So first of all, you can see I brought the calculators over to my desk because people were just taking them at the door. I've also started to ask people for collateral when they take a calculator, and someone gave me this some bubble tape the other day and never came back with the calculator. So
Hubba Bubba?
Hubba Bubba.
What's the most random thing in your bag?
In my backpack right now? That's a really good question. I have, let's see. I have some lactate pills today because I have
Yummy.
Some cheese in my sandwich.
Now, time for another quick math problem.
Oh,
This
no.
time, it's a word problem.
Oh, God.
Jimmy fishes 20 flounders. Granny fishes the same amount Jimmy does, squared plus 80 to the 6th power. However, after all that fishing, Granny throws 7 fish in the water and throws Jimmy in there as well. How many fish does Jimmy have?
Didn't he say 7? What was at the beginning? Can you start again?
Incorrect. It was 20.
Oh, shoot.
Time for some faster questions. What's your favorite food?
Oh, no. My favorite food right now is sushi.
How do you feel about latkes?
I feel really good about them. That's like for Hanukkah.
Do you prefer applesauce or sour cream?
Applesauce.
Logarithms or finding standard deviation?
Logarithms for sure.
3rd or 4th floor?
3rd floor, that's my home.
What is the National Honor Society?
The National Honor Society is, it's a club for juniors and seniors who excel in their academics and in their, service and leadership. And they apply to the club, and a group of teachers selects, a group of students, and then we do community service projects.
Why should someone want to join NHS?
I think NHS is an amazing opportunity to be a leader in the school. And, just be among some of the most involved and brightest students in our school. And I also think at the end of every year, we always do a mentoring, like with the seniors and juniors, and that's an amazing opportunity to learn more.
We hear you're the Key Club advisor. Is that true?
That's true, yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about what the Key Club is.
So the Key Club is a community service organization. It's like a national organization, and there's chapters all over New York City and all over the country. And we do different projects, but we're part of a larger organization.
Why should someone join?
I think Key Club is a really cool community. The students who really get involved, they often become friends with people from other schools, which is an opportunity I don't know that exists with a lot of other clubs.
There's a large demand for algorithm and quantitative jobs using big data. Is that related to math?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, some of the algorithms we do in class, like for example, an algorithm we might use in order to solve a log equation. That's what we're doing right now in Algebra 2. You might not use that exact thing in those types of jobs, but the process of using an algorithm to solve a problem is like super applicable.
How about math and its relation to computer programming?
So math is also super related. I think more of like the mathematical thinking might be related. I'm just thinking about two of my closest friends in college who were computer science majors, and they had to do proofs just like we do in geometry.
We have no involvement with this, but what is your opinion on photomath?
On photomath? I think it could be used as a tool kind of to check your work, and I like that it can show you the steps for a problem. But I think when students rely on photomath, then they lose out on the opportunity to learn or the opportunity to figure out they don't know something.
What's the best part about Baruch Talk?
I think I feel like the silliness of Baruch Talk is fun. It kind of brings out a fun spirit in our school.
Why should someone watch Baruch Talk?
I think there's some interesting perspectives, and you get a sense of what's going on at our school.
What's the #1 podcast in Baruch?
I would say probably Baruch Talk.
Interesting. And final question, 1 out of 10, how would you rate this interview?
10 out of 10. I had a blast.
Incredible. Thank you, Ms. Forman.
Have a good day.